Like Teddy Gray on stuff, Whooshy gives a proper reaction.
And now for something completely different.
Hey people, welcome back. My name is Teddy Gray. Today we are on Stuff. And the stuff that we are on is The Plot in You, Silence, the MAPHRA vocal cover. Now, like most of you, I didn't even know that the original song existed. This cover is on currently 1.2 million views, whereas the original, The Plot in You, Silence, the official music video, is sitting currently at 529,000 views. So, I thought I'd join the rest of you and listen to this first, then we'll go and listen to the official music video, not to see who did it better, couldn't give a shit, just to see how MAPHRA transformed this original content. Because I also noticed, somebody asked me in the comments like, oh, could you put a link to the original MAPHRA video in the description or in the comment section or something? And I thought, okay, that's fair. If MAPHRA does the same thing and links to the original Bring Me the Horizon track, then I'll do the same thing. I go on to the Doomed cover, and you can now purchase a version of her cover on iTunes. So she's not giving credence to the original that made it, so I don't feel like I should either. We're going to listen to MAPHRA's version first, because I know that I did Bring Me the Horizon Doomed. I listened to Bring Me the Horizon first, and then we listened to MAPHRA's vocal cover. So I want to know if there's some sort of, I don't know, if there's going to be a difference in me listening to this version first, then listening to the original. And I'm still waiting to hear original music from MAPHRA herself. It's starting to annoy me at this point. Let's go.
I don't feel youthful. I don't feel sad. I don't fuck with these pills anymore. These days move so fast, and I'm starting to notice the ones I held closest take more than what they give back. Yeah, I used to seek violence, now I use silence.
Ooh.
My property.
That's something I didn't hear. That little... Ugh, that sounded nice. That a nice little waver. Damn.
More than what they give back. Yeah, I used to seek violence, now I use silence. It's my proper means for attack.
Fire.
Took a lot of time, but I'm not complaining. Took a lot of paranoia moving through the stages. Every single time I get
Bruh. Yo! Eh? I was transported to heaven, and then we dropped. Whoa. I really like that. This still here, bruv. That's... I mean, that should be that little icon next to MAPHRA's official YouTube. That should be the icon. I can see it in the circle. Sums it up, to be honest. You know what I mean? That bit as well. I don't know. You'll have to watch like the charismatic voice or something for the breakdown of the of how this is done. But it was brought from a different place, and you could tell that from the way that she kind of like brings her chin in, which doesn't mean that it's air that she's using. It's like a muscle. It's either the flexing or the releasing of tension from a muscle to let that out. I like it. I like it a lot. This as well. My main gripe with her Doomed vocal cover was the fact that it was very, very heavily produced. That is not a representation of what she would sound like live. However, this seems to be. It's very breathy. It's very close to the microphone. Much closer than she is now. What microphone is that? Newman. It's not a Newman, is it? Could be a Newman. If it is, it might actually pick up a more breathy tone from that range, from that far out. I've just realised I've gone all the way back to the beginning. I prefer the video on this one too. I have no idea why though.
I don't feel sad. I don't fuck with these pills anymore. These days move so fast.
She just said the word fuck. For some reason, I assume I don't even know why either. She's dressed in black every time I've ever seen her. Christian. For some reason, I feel like she's Christian. I don't know. I just get that feeling. Maybe it's because she just looks sweet. Do you know what I mean? Like not the type of girl that you know goes out clubbing, starting fights. Seems very introverted. You know what I mean? So to hear her say fuck, it's almost like a marker of this is the direction that I'm willing to go down in the music industry. You'll have to excuse me with the coughing, the spluttering, and my nose is blocked. I'm just getting over a flu. I'm sorry about that. This could bring me back to life though.
I don't feel youthful. I don't feel sad. I don't fuck with these pills anymore. These days move so fast, and I'm starting to notice the ones I held closest take more than what they give back. Yeah, I used to seek violence, now I use silence as my proper means for attack. Took a lot of time, but I'm not complaining. Took a lot of paranoia moving through the stages. Every single time I get the feeling that I'm breaking. Think about another time when I was fucking nameless. Mark my words, this ceiling comes with separation. When you get this tape, the feeling comes with desperation. Beat me down, rip my heart in two. There's nothing that you can take. I know it's
true. No, mate. No. The fact that throughout that scream was when the instrumentation came in. Gave a little added bit of zhuzh, as Jamie Oliver would say. A little bit of added zhuzh. God damn. Don DeMarco. I'm going back for this bit where it's... Bro, we're in heaven, then we get dropped, then scream. I wonder if the... This is why I'm quite glad I'm listening to this one first, because I can have this in mind when listening to the original. How close is it to the original? Does this lend itself already to her vocals, or has she genuinely transformed this? You know? That's what I'm looking for. When she says the word desperation, there is a little bit of desperation within that word. That was what I wanted to run it back for. And now I'm running it back again. You're welcome.
of time, but I'm not
Bro, it's mad.
complaining. Took a lot of paranoia moving through the stages. Every single time I get the feeling that I'm breaking. Think about another time when I was fucking nameless. Mark my words, this ceiling comes with separation. When you get this tape, the feeling comes with desperation. Beat me down, rip my heart in two. There's nothing that you can take. I know it's true.
Take a deep breath, gal.
So let me be around the skies. Tread this road till I've gone too far. Left in peace, kept in bites. Burn this life for the next to start. So let me be. Let me be. Let me be. 'Cause I'm dying to live. I'm sick from the noise. I'll make my way through all that I have to. 'Cause I'm dying to live. And I've been through the void. And I'll celebrate the fact that I have proof. A state of mind I never tried.
Nope. Nope. That's crazy. That is crazy. That deep breath there, bro. I was like, I'm about to reach the capacity of my lungs. Pray for me. Briv. The fact that she was able to go from that scream to those breathy tones, I do believe that, again, this has been produced, and it's not a one take, you know? If you were to hear her singing if you were to put your ear to the shower and hear her singing while she's having a shower, it wouldn't sound anything like this. You'd hear the tones, you'd hear her reach certain heights, but it wouldn't sound like this. This is a completely different sound, you know? For a vocal cover, I don't know, I would expect, like, people complain about rap, right? If somebody was to only do auto-tune and then you hear them rap in real life, it's not going to sound the same and you might be pissed off. You'd be well within your rights for that. The same as if you listen to MAPHRA and then you went to see her live and she didn't sound the same, or didn't come from that scream straight to that breath, to those breathy notes like you're used to hearing, you might be pissed off and you would be well within your rights to be that annoyed, you know? Because this is a vocal cover, it's supposed to, your vocals are supposed to be the thing that stands out, not the production. Do you know what I mean? It's still incredible. It's still incredible. It just annoys me because this has 1.2 million views. And yet this is her production. I don't know how much she's transformed it, but it has over twice the amount of views of the original. Just hoping it's been seriously transformed.
So let me be around the skies. Tread this road till I've gone too far.
They're going from to then, bro.
So let me be around the skies. Tread this road till I've gone too far. Left in peace, kept in bites. Burn this life for the next to start. So let me be. Let me be. Let me be. 'Cause I'm dying to live. I'm sick from the noise. I'll make my way through all that I have to. 'Cause I'm dying to live. And I've been through the void. And I'll celebrate the fact that I have proof. A state of mind I never tried. I know that it's all my fault to justify the darkest times.
Struggled a bit there with the lower tone. Nice. Very, very nice. Very nice. Now for the official music video. And we'll see how much that the original has been transformed. All the original's just not going to play. What is happening here?
I don't feel youthful, and I don't feel sad.
Oh, that's breathy.
I don't fuck with these pills anymore, but these days move so fast, and I'm starting to notice the ones I held closest take more than what they give back.
Damn!
Used to see
That. People are saying, oh, when my main gripe with MAPHRA, the Doomed cover, was that I didn't get enough emotion. Like, the emotion from Doomed is supposed to be like you're in the most sunken place, you know? I wasn't getting that level of desperation, of heartache, of I have nothing. I wasn't getting that. From MAPHRA, I get somebody who is trying very hard. That's what I get. I get determination. I get drive, motivation. But that's not what doomed means. If you're doomed, you don't have that motivation because you're doomed. So it didn't fit. With MAPHRA's overproduced vocals, you don't get this, which is a real person's voice. And that's not me saying that MAPHRA's AI. I'm saying it's not. Her breathy vocals are a professional breathy vocal. They're not real. This is real. This is a real person's voice. This is real pain. This sounds like somebody who went through a breakup and recorded this on their phone as they were walking back home crying their eyes out, bruv. That's what that feels like. Give a fuck what it sounds like. Music isn't just sounds, alright? If you think it is, you're a fucking idiot.
I don't feel youthful, and I don't feel sad.
See, that's sad,
I
bro.
don't fuck with
That sad is like you're in the middle of crying. There's a desperation within the way that is said. When MAPHRA did it, it sounded breathy, sure. It sounded great, sure. But it didn't sound real. This is why I'm praying, begging for some original music from MAPHRA. Because at this point, I don't particularly feel anything personal from her. I can get the feeling that she's trying to evoke, but it's a second-hand feeling, and that comes across in the music.
I don't feel youthful,
Shouts out to the plot in you, though.
and I don't feel sad. I don't fuck with these pills anymore.
Sounds like they're crying.
These days move so fast, and I'm starting to notice the ones I held closest take more than what they give back. Yeah, I used to seek violence, but now I use silence as my proper means for attack.
That's fire.
Took a lot of time, but I'm not complaining. Took a lot of paranoia moving through the stages. Every single time I get the feel.
Okay, I will say, I prefer the way that MAPHRA ran that. Like, and then straight down to those tones. I prefer that rather than this. Again, this bit, overproduced. And I don't like it when it's done in actual music either, in original pieces. It's overproduced. There's way too much reverb on it. I get, it's obviously done for a specific reason. That's like the cascading of voices in your head telling you that you're not worth it, you know? I get why it's been done, and it does fulfill a purpose. It's just that sonically, it sounded better in MAPHRA's version, I'll be honest.
Took a lot of time, but I'm not complaining. Took a lot of paranoia moving through the stages. Every single time I get the feeling that I'm breaking. Think about another time when I was fucking aimless. And my word, this only comes with separation. When you get this down, it only comes with desperation.
See, sometimes the production works. That beat me down, and then it was almost on the half note, repeating. Beat me down, beat me down, beat me. It's almost on the half note. It's repeating. I like that. I like that level of production. This scream is only so effective because you didn't hear the scream before the. You didn't really hear that scream. It was covered in reverb. Now becomes apparent why it was covered in reverb, because the scream needed to be later on. MAPHRA, however, used the scream in the beginning, before the. She went from the screaming straight down to that, and I liked that stylistic choice. However, there's obviously a reason why in the original you heard so much reverb, because that was like the inner noise, and then now is the expression of, and that's why it screamed with the full vocals in full effect. Fire. Very, very nice.
Took a lot of time, but I'm not complaining. Took a lot of paranoia moving through the stages. Every single time I get the feeling that I'm breaking. Think about another time when I was fucking aimless.
I really like there's a tone to it, and then it's almost, okay, let's get real. Think about another time when I was fucking nameless. Like, there's the ego, super ego. It is, everything's having a conversation inside this geezer's head. Do you know what I mean? MAPHRA didn't really transform this song. Apart from that bit that was reverbed, and she decided to sing it and scream it instead, and then come straight back down. Other than that, it's not really been a transformation of content, because the screaming that comes up in a second, it already lends itself to the way that MAPHRA screams anyway, so she hasn't really transformed or brought anything different to this track, you know? I hope she doesn't go on to sell her version of this track, because that... Oh.
Breaking, think about another time when I was fucking aimless. And my word, this only comes with separation. When you get this down, it only comes with desperation.
The one thing that I will say that MAPHRA did transform, however, is the way that desperation was said. She kind of said it like she was crying. She kind of took some inspiration of the way that he did it in the beginning, maybe. Let's call it inspiration, let's not call it thievery.
It comes with desperation. Wrap my heart into. There's nothing that you can say. I know it's true. So let me be where my scars tread this road till I've come too far. Left in peace, kept in parts. Burn this life with the next two stars. So let me be. So let me be. So let me be. Kept in parts. Burn this life with the next two stars. 'Cause I'm dying to live, and I'm sick from the noise. I'll make my way through all that I am now. 'Cause I'm dying to live, and I pass through the void, and I'll celebrate the fact that I am proud. A state of mind
Mad.
never tried. I know that it's all my fault to justify the darkest times.
There's faces on the wall. Very eerie.